One of the big issues in the city is housing, whether it's for low income or even moderate income
Hmm.
people. But Museum Square is particularly been the focus of various protests. It's where hundreds of many Chinese people live. It's one of the largest concentrations of Chinese people in the city. The plan is to tear this building down. Hundreds of people would lose their rental apartments. What do you think about that? There's been a lot of discussion about that, a lot of protests at Busboys and Poets and um, all kinds of groups.
Well, the ideal situation would be to help the individuals living there to buy the building, and so I think that's part of what
The
the
developer offered
process is.
$250 million.
Yeah, and so that is the ideal situation that is problematic right now. And I have been to the building, and the building is in serious need of repair as well. That was in bad shape a long time ago, and it's not a long time ago anymore. So the idea is, number one, can we find a place for the individuals who are living there to live in the city? We are building a number of units of affordable housing now in the downtown area. There's over at Florida Avenue and 9th Street, etc. So can we relocate the people from the building into units that are close by? You don't want to force people, particularly in that population you're talking about, are older people who've been in that neighborhood a long time. And to force them to move out of that neighborhood, I think, would be a disservice. So what I would like to do is either, number one, if we can keep them in the building, if not, try and find some affordable units that are close by.
The big issue in the city is housing. I think the Post had a story today about it, but I've written about it a couple of times in the recent months. A lot of developers or property owners are giving up their Section 8 with
Yep.
contracts with the federal government
Yep.
to provide subsidized housing.
Right.
Anita Bonds told me there were like 40 different properties that have these subsidized housing. Most of them are going to give them up. What happens to all the poor people who live there?
And again, what we're trying to do, we've just put an additional $100 million on top of the $170 million in the Housing Protection Trust Fund to use to partner with the nonprofits to build more affordable housing. There is no way to be realistic that we are going to be able to catch up and keep up with the demand. And I think you're going to find a situation, even though we construct a lot of affordable housing, that many people are just not going to be able to stay in the downtown in the neighborhoods and may have to move out to the suburban jurisdictions. I have learned this in my 25 years on the council. The government can do a lot and so much. In the seniors, if you own a house, you don't pay property taxes. You will never lose your house no matter what you do. You can do as much as you can, but market forces are enormous. And when market forces roll towards you, which they are doing, and things become more and more expensive, it becomes very difficult to keep people. But we are doing everything we can in the city to construct as much affordable housing and keep people here that we can.